pick is open again, and he makes it 3 in a row.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Truly a Mickey 3 there. Into the box for Espeleta. Espeleta with the cross. Inside and in for Rogers.
3-2 pitch on its way from Kehoe. And that one is ripped through the left side for a base hit. The tying run will come in to score.
Turnover. Won by Velasquez. Inside give to Destine. Off the glass and in.
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Collins running out of real estate. Heads back upfield. 25 to the 30. The 35 to 40. The 45 to 50. He has only Kovalevsky to beat. Gets through him. The 10 and touchdown for Collins.
Johnson to LaFaro. Corner three-pointer. Splash.
Bada bing, bada boom. Everyone's going crazy in the room.
From the Joseph St. Lawrence Sports Complex in Hillburn, New York, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Week 3 of the 2022 regular season of the Elite Football Alliance. Tonight, the 1-1 New York Bears play host to the 0-1 New York Bandits, who began their season just a week ago. Hello, everyone. I'm David Pizzuto, flying solo tonight here on the broadcast, and want to welcome all of you in for this game between the Bandits and the Bears here. We're about 5 or 7 minutes away from kickoff, and before we get to the matchups here, let's take a bird's eye view of the EFA season so far. This is week 3 of the EFA. The EFA is composed of 6 teams that play an 8-game regular season over 11 weekends, and then, of course, is playoffs. And so there's really not a lot of time to figure things out. After tonight, these teams will be closing in on the midway point of the year, and these two teams are right in the thick of it. We see on the screen now our standings in the EFA heading into week 3. The Gators at the top are at 2-0, and then, of course, the logjam in the middle, the Pharaohs, the Bears, and the Demon Knights, all 1-1. And then the two teams that debuted their season last week, the Bandits 0-1, they come into this game against the Bears, and, of course, the New York Legion, who fell to the Bears last week, they are at 0-1. And with that, we have the Bears and the Bandits tonight, like we just mentioned. And we could start by talking about the Bears. They're 1-1 this season. They're coming back to the EFA after a 2-year hiatus. They did not field a team in 2020 nor 2021. And they turned some heads in their Week 1 loss to defending EFA champs, the Brooklyn Pharaohs. They did not yield a touchdown till the fourth quarter of that game offensively. And they made it hold up last week with a one-sided win over the New York Legion. That final score was 32-0. They exploded in the second half, really pulled away there, and got themselves up to 1-1. So they are looking in pretty good shape, and if they could take a win here, they would have themselves a winning streak and would be right up there at the top of the standings, the only team to play in the first 3 weeks of the EFA season. The Bears have some star power on the offensive side of the ball, a good mix of run and pass. They're led by quarterback Juan Rodriguez and a 1-2 running punch of Pear and Davis in the backfield. But really, their defense has been terrific as well. They've yielded only 2 offensive scores this season. Both of those took place in the fourth quarter in their game against the Brooklyn Pharaohs. They're flying to the ball. They're playing with a ton of confidence, and we'll see if that holds up here tonight. Obviously, they did not yield a point last week to the New York Legion, so they are feeling really good about themselves. The Bears faced off against the team making their 2022 debut last week in the New York Legion. Tonight, they faced the other team that made their debut last week, the New York Bandits. The Bandits had a tough weekend last week. They fell 32-0, same score as the Bears Legion score, but they feel like they're a better team than what they showed last weekend, and this week perhaps a chance to make up some ground as they lost last week in Long Island to the Demon Knights. And one thing we will keep our eyes on tonight with the Bandits will be the turnovers. They had 7 last week and 4 in the second half alone. that led to 26 second-half points scored by the Demon Knights. They also had a lot of penalties last week, and so it's hard, and some would say flat out impossible to win games when you turn the ball over at that rate. So that sets the stage for what we're about to witness here at the Joseph T. St. Lawrence Community Health and Sports Center, of course, here in Torn Valley, Hillburn, New York. We can't wait for this Week 3 matchup between the Bandits and the Bears. So that sets us up. What we are going to do here at PDF Sports Network is step aside, take a break. We'll yield some time for the coin toss to get both of our teams situated here for opening kickoff. So when we come back, it will be opening kickoff here between the Bandits and the Bears. Week 3 of the Elite Football Alliance season right here on PDF Sports Network. Unbeatable Tires and Accessories LLC is your tire for all seasons. Visit us 7 days a week and call us now at 347-879-3100. A tire for all seasons at Unbeatable Tires and Accessories, official partner of the Elite Football Alliance.
I love you.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it. Gonna get it, gonna slip it, gonna cuff it. Check it, talk to doctor and share it.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
If you love them enough to do this, surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here.
Let's go back. I'll do the camera myself until they get me someone. Welcome back here to the Joseph St. Lawrence Community Health and Sports Center. We are just moments away from opening kickoff here between the Bears and the Bandits.
We need a chain crew. We need 3 folks to get on the chain crew before we can get the game started, so please.
Looks like the Bears will be receiving the opening kickoff first, as we are awaiting some personnel to enter the field. And then we will get ourselves underway. The Bandits will be kicking off. Last week they were shut out, but they did not play poorly. A single touchdown in the first half, 6 points. The Demon Knights scored on their first drive of the game, and then they were held pretty much in check until midway through the third quarter when they scored a defensive touchdown. And that kind of opened up the floodgates, part of 7 turnovers for the Bandits last week. 4 in the second half that led to 26 points scored by the Bears. The Bears have 3 players back deep to receive this kickoff. We'll do our best to get you names and numbers, of course. We are still awaiting some personnel of our own here until then. Andrew Rotundo and I pulling some double and triple duty here at the complex, but happy to bring this one to you here, the PDF Sports Network on YouTube and at pdfsportsnet.com. You can hang with us all season long as we will look to bring you EFA action pretty much every single week. So opening kickoff here, and it is a line driver that ends up at about the 10-yard line. And scampering with it is Justin Sapini, and he breaks out of a tackle and is taken down at about the 45-yard line. Nice job by Sapini. And the Bears will have it 1st down and 10, and they will set up on offense first. You could see on your screen as well, we are battling some sun here as well in Hillburn. We're not going to complain. It is a beautiful day here at the complex. Players couldn't have asked for better weather as well. Nice breeze in the air. Very pleasant evening, and once that sun goes down, it should be a gorgeous night here in Hillburn. So to start out the game, Juan Rodriguez will operate out of the shotgun formation. Getting some late substitution in the game are the Bandits. Looks like Davis might be the lone setback. There is going to be a flag on the play, and it's going to be on the offense, and they'll back this one up. So immediately, first play from scrimmage will be 5 yards back. So 1st down and 15.
15 at their own 40-yard line now. Set to play.
And they'll restart it here. It is Pear in the backfield with Rodriguez. Kevin Pear.
All right, Rodriguez set to
More
go in the gun.
trips to his left, and now in motion is Abalos. The give is to Pear up the middle. He does find some room and gets to the 50-yard line. A gain of 10 on the play. It'll set up a 2nd and 5. Nice job that time. Redirection. Abalos was in motion, and the inside give was to Pear, who went to the right. Defenders following Abalos on the play to the left.
1st down. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bears at their own 49-yard line.
2nd down and a long 5, close to 6 here. Rodriguez once again with 2 wide receivers to his right and left. Inside give once again to Pear. He got held up and now bounces to the outside to the left. He's got the 1st down and plenty more. Runs into his own man and is finally put down at about the 37-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down for the Bears.
Of the Bandits, that's where the Bears will have it 1st and 10.
Rashad McNulty on the tackle. And looks like Pear was able to bounce it to the outside after being confronted right in the middle in the teeth of that Bandits defense. So ball officially placed at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bears after starting 1st and 15 this drive at their own 40 at one point. Once again, 2 wide receivers to the right and left. Pear is to Rodriguez's right, and he will get the give. And once again, very patient running by Pear, and he gets about 3, maybe 4. Gets it to about the 33-yard line. So gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 coming up.
Bears at the Bandit 33-yard line.
Bears going right up to the line, and Rodriguez calling the plays, coming up and down. Wideouts, of course, communicating as best as they can. Shafi Harris is on the near side low, and it's going to be a quick pitch to Abalos. A lot of players standing around, but Abalos is going down the sidelines, and he gets pushed out of bounds. I think a lot of players might have heard a whistle, but there was a lot of stoppage on that, but there was no flag. So that's going to be a first down and 10 at the 12. So interesting play there, as it looked like there was a whistle, or at least it sounded like there might have been a whistle, but no dice there. And the Bears will continue this drive here now, just on the outskirts of the 10-yard line. First down and 10 from the 12. Rodriguez with Davis behind him. And he will take it, and Davis will go left side. Got confronted once. He's barreling towards the goal line. Very close there. And he's going to be spot at the 1-yard line. It'll be a first and goal coming up.
That'll give the Bears a first and goal to Bandit 1.
Tough running by Davis off that left side. Was able to manufacture some yards after getting initially hit on the play by number 90, Julio Ramirez, but just could not corral him down. And the Bears, on a great first drive here to start this one, have a first and goal at the 1. The give inside to Pear. Pear barrels in, and that's going to be a touchdown. Kevin Pear scores the first one of this game. It's 6-0 in favor of the Bears. So only one pass on that drive, running it in the whole way were the Bears. Dual attack with Kevin Pear and Brandon Davis, and it was Pear that did the honors to score. And the Bears quickly in this one, on their first drive of the game, are up 6-0. And they will go for a 2-point conversion here. The Bandits yielded a opening drive touchdown last week against the Demon Knights. Were able to settle from there. And what was a 6-0 halftime score. Rodriguez is going to throw it right side in the end zone, wide open, and the 2-point conversion is converted by Shafi Harris. And we have ourselves an 8-0 game here, as the Bears have gone ahead on their first drive of the game. So the Bandits, who we know wanted to have a good start following that 32-0 loss last week, are going to have to regroup here after giving up a opening drive touchdown here in this one. The Bandits sideline is underneath us here, and we hear a lot of the players saying, hey, it's just the first drive of the game. Let's get our heads on straight. Plenty of time to go here in this one, and plenty of football to be played. But certainly the Bandits are going to have to show something here on this response drive. Cameron Nicholson is back for the Bandits, along with number 22, Cahill Ross. And for the first time in this game, we'll see a kickoff from the Bears. Bears lost on the opening weekend of the EFA, 26-12 to the defending champs, the Brooklyn Pharaohs. It was a game that was very close until the opening stages of the fourth quarter. That's when the Pharaohs scored their only 2 offensive touchdowns in that game. They went on to win 26-12. But the Bears showed good signs of offense in that one, and of course, they would end up exploding for 32 points last week in the 32-0 win over the Legion. So lining things up will be the Bears. And that one is skied and twisting, and it will go to Ross. And he finds an opening to the 40, and finally taken down at the 46-yard line. And so the Bandits will be in business Now, last week against the Demon Knights, the Bandits had a kickoff return all the way to the Demon Knights' 5-yard line. Unable to score, obviously. They were shut out. Officially spotted at the 45-yard line where the Bandits will have their first offensive series. And, of course, like we said in the opening, the focus will be on protecting the football for the Bandits. They turned the ball over 7 times last week. That led to 26 Demon Knights points, and the difference in the game was 32 points. It's a 6-0 halftime game last week, very close. And like last week, it will be Josh Parker. And he will operate out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread formation. The give is on the inside, and not much happening there for number 5, Tremel Williams. Gain of 1 official, it'll be 2nd and 9. Tremel Williams, one of the big returning players for this Bandits team, was one of their biggest weapons a season ago. And wasn't that involved last week, had a couple of receptions and a couple of balls thrown his way, but otherwise it was a predominantly quiet day. Bandits are going with Randy Long at quarterback. So Randy Long with his first action. He takes the snap. He's trying to outrush the rush, and he gets it to about the 50-yard line, but positive yardage for Long, a gain of 6, 3rd and 3. So 3rd and manageable here for the Bandits as they've gone forward on their last 2 possessions. So Randy Long, who did not play last week against the Demon Knights, it was Josh Parker who took most of the snaps, or took all of the snaps, really. Of course, the Bandits suffering a pretty big injury last week with running back Daquan Villanueva having to exit in the later stages of that game. We hope that he is okay, but it's been Williams along with Long in the backfield. And now it's a would-be screen pass, but it was intended for Tremel Williams, incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 3. And so, a play at the line of scrimmage. Williams got his hand on it. And our first really big play of the game here for the Bears defense. They're going to try and get the Bandits off the field, although a lot of personnel changes coming in here for the Bandits. They might look to pin the Bears back deeper, as coming into the game is number 12, who we do not have on our roster for the Bandits, but was very involved in last week's game as well. And this will be a punting situation for the Bandits, looking to pin the Bears back deep. Nigel Swift is back deep for the Bears on this one, setting up at about his own 15-yard line. Bandits want to make sure they got the right personnel on the field. And we do have some whistles, and we're going to have, I think, a delay of game here called on the Bandits. So they're going to be backed up 5 yards. So officially a 4th and 8 instead of a 4th and 3. And that will move Swift up another 5 yards. He's now standing at his own 20, ready to receive this one. Bears sneaking up to the line of scrimmage. Try and get a return on this one for Swift. And that's going to be a fake. And number 12 has it. He's going to get stood up at the 50. And it's a fumble. It's a fumble. And taking it over was Williams. Williams is going to return it to the house. They stood up number 12 at the 50. And Williams took it in all the way. And it is now 14-0 in favor of the Bears. Not quite sure if that was a designed fake. It sure looked like it. as number 12 took right off with it, scampered to his left. There was a little bit of a hole there, but it ended quickly, and then the strip that leads to the fumble return for a touchdown. So they will line up once again for a 2-point conversion. The Bears up by a couple of scores now, still in the relatively early stages of the first quarter. We figure about halfway in. Both teams have had one possession. But the Bandits, with their 8th turnover of the season, their first today, yields points. So 3 wide receivers to the left of Rodriguez. 2 on the right side. Rodriguez looking left all the way, middle of the field, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Preston Persona with the 2-point conversion. It's 16-0 in favor of the Bears. So you could not have asked for a better start for the Bears. They score on their first offensive possession and then score defensively on the Bandits' first possession of the game. And now we have ourselves a 16-0 hole that the Bandits have gotten themselves into. And we'll have to see if they can scratch and claw their way out of this one. But a tremendous start here for the New York Bears. Could not have asked for a better start. And we will line it up once again for the kickoff here. Do not have we don't have a 41 on our Bears roster, so we don't know who the kickoff specialist is. Although a couple of weeks ago, we did see Zach Kovalevsky put down some kicks. So first quarter action here between the Bears and the Bandits. The Bears looking to improve to 2-1 on the season following a season opening loss. And they're positioned very well here, 16-0 here, midway through the first. The kick is on its way, and it's going to go over the head of Ross. It ends up at the 5-yard line. Ross now has to try and make one man miss. It does, but slips down at the 19-yard line, and that's where the Bandits will take over. 1st and 10.
That's where the Bandits will take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
So decent job by Ross to catch back up to that one after it bounced over his head at the 5, officially a 14-yard return to get them some breathing room out of the shadows of their own goalpost. And we'll see what the Bandits have to offer here on their second offensive possession of the game. Unfortunate turnover on 4th and 8. That looked like it would have been short by a few yards. It ends up being a fumble return. So instead of a turnover on downs, it was a fumble return for a touchdown, 50 yards officially for Williams. And once again, it will be Randy Long who will operate out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to his right and left. Williams is in the backfield to his left. Long with the count, drops back 3 or 4 steps, and he's going to get gobbled up in the backfield. Is the ball out? Let's see. The Bears are saying they have it. There's a scrum on the bottom of that pile. The Bears are emphatic. They think they have the football. It's going to be 2nd down.
And it looks like it was recovered by the Bandits.
And the Bandits got it back, but nevertheless, a sack on the play, a loss of 5.
5 yards on the play. It'll be
at the very least.
For the Bandits at their own 14-yard line.
So the Bandits, lucky to get that one back, but they're going to have to deal with a 2nd and long here, as Long did not have a lot of time to throw. He took about a 4-step drop, wanted someone to his left side, but there wasn't enough separation there. And we'll see what 2nd and 15 affords us. Once again, spread formation with the 4 wide receivers in. Once again, it is Tramel Williams in the backfield with Long. Bears looking to rush 4 on the play. They've had success there. They do again. Now the throw to the right side and almost picked off. Rios. I think that kind of caught Rios by surprise. I don't think Rios was expecting it to come in that hot on him. It'll be a 3rd down and long here, 3rd and 15. And what could have been another turnover that time as Rios failed to hang on. Still a nice defensive play. That'll lead to a long 3rd down. Bandits looking to climb out of an early hole here. Down 16-0, as you see on your scoreboard. Bears with a touchdown on their first offensive drive. It was Kevin Pear with a 1-yard touchdown run. And then Dwam Williams' 50-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
Ball takes a snap, back to pass.
Shotgun formation and airing it out to the near sideline, and it is going to be incomplete over the head of number 22, Cahill Ross, who was streaking to the near side, and it'll be a 4th down and 15. And we're going to have a punt situation here for the Bandits. That time the Bandits were looking for the home run ball there on that 3rd and 15. Number 12 back to punt, and deep once again will be number 85, Nigel Swift.
Bandits are going to line up for the punt here.
High snap, but the punt is high in the air. It is Abalos who's going to watch it go out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So about a 32-yard punt, no return. But the Bears, despite no return on it, will have the ball in Bandits territory, short field here for them. So the Bears' first drive, they score a 1-yard touchdown by number 7, Kevin Pear. And then a 50-yard fumble return by Williams. This one might be coming back as we have Laundry on the field, and the Bears may elect to have the Bandits re-kick here. We'll see what the flag was called on.
The penalty is accepted.
And it's going to back the Bandits up. So let's see where they spot this football here. They are going inside the 10 for sure. Looks like the ball will be spotted at the 7. 4th and 22 officially on this 4th down. We could see number 12 just about 3 or 4 yards in front of the end line there beneath the goalpost, and Abalos is playing at about the 37-yard line, waiting for this one. Abalos had a dynamic start to this season. That's a low snap. Once again, it's up. A good kick. Abalos has to retreat to the 40, and he's going to go left. He goes up the middle and is tripped up. And the ball is going to be spotted officially at the 33-yard line. Nice open field tackle. I believe that was either Parker or Tremel Williams who was able to trip up Abalos. So after the penalty, the Bears gain about 12 yards worth of real estate. So they will set up at the 33-yard line of the Bandits. Obviously, ideal field position once again here for the Bears. Now on their last offensive drive, which was the first drive of the first quarter, they ran the ball all but one time, and they were able to really rip through the heart of the Bandits' defense. Let's see what they go to here, as there will be a 4 wide receiver set once again, spread formation. Pear will be the lone setback. He's directly behind Rodriguez. Rodriguez receives the snap, turns around, gives it to Pear. Pear gets the 30, the 25, and is tripped up at the 20. That's going to be a first down for the Bears. And once again, it's right through the teeth of the defensive line of the Bandits. First down and 10 at the 20. So officially in the red zone are the Bears here, looking to score for the third time here in this first quarter. That must be winding down. Once again, the give is to Pear, and that time Pear is swallowed up in the backfield. Nice play that time made by the Bandits defense.
Looks like 25, Watson on the stop for the Bandits.
I thought it was Raphael Johnson who made the
Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be
tackle on that one, number
12 for the
36.
Bears.
So officially a loss of 2 on the play, so second down and 12 for the Bandits. It's Davis who's now entered the game at halfback.
Davis in at running back to Rodriguez's right.
Once again, forward receiver set, but it is going to be Davis right up the middle. Can't make the defender miss and is going to get taken down for a bigger loss. Making the play that time, Francisco Velasquez, who was able to get enough of the jersey to take down Davis. Nice play there. So it'll be a third down and 16. Ball spotted just outside the 25-yard line. You'd think the Bears would be going on fourth down here. They do have a place kicker.
And now third down and 15 for the Bears.
Third down and a long 15 here. Rodriguez, he's going to look to his left all the way, looks towards the sideline, and it is complete to Persona. He's pushed out of bounds at about the 15. So got a lot of that back, but it will be a fourth down. It'll be 4th and 5. So 4th down and 5 officially. Davis is once again the lone setback. Rodriguez, there's some movement up front, and they are going to blow this one dead. Looked like Rodriguez was going to look for Calvin Webb streaking down that sideline on the fade route. It'll be offside against the Bandits. So we'll see if that gives them a first down. This will be a interesting decision here because that ball will be right at the first down marker, and it is going to be a first down. And with it, it'll be a 1st and goal as well.
It is going to be enough for a Bears first down.
So the Bears, on a drive that started at the Bandits' 33-yard line, will have 10 yards to go for pay dirt. First down and goal. The Bears continue to work out of the spread formation. Lots of whistles here. And it will be a timeout called by the Bears. First timeout of the game taken by either team. And we'll see how the Bears want to discuss this one. In case you joined us late, Bears 16-0. Thank you. As we get a late number change here for the Bandits. Number 12, Nuriel Benitez, who was listed as number 7 on our roster, so we apologize to Mr. Benitez. We now know he's wearing number 12. Want to thank Bandits coaching staff for the assist there, as they've been able to help us out. So the Bears break that huddle, and we'll get set here for a 1st and goal. Now, we've seen the Bears do a number of things from in close. They've obviously been heavily running the football, but on their 2-point conversions, they have aired the ball out from short distance. So plenty of plays in the playbook.
Hamburgers, sausages, hot dogs, Gatorade, water, and chips.
And it will be, once again, Rodriguez out of the shotgun. Davis is the setback. He goes once again right up the middle, makes one man miss. Scampers to the 5 is... Did he get past the goal line? He's going to be down at the half-yard line. Davis tried to extend, lost the ball late. I believe they marked him down. with the ball still in his hand at about the half-yard line.
Just shy of the goal line. It'll be second and
So
goal.
second down and goal. Davis did a great job to make a couple of defenders miss, going laterally. And he really tried to get those 6 points and get himself on the score sheet. But Davis this time does exit the game, and Kevin Pear comes back in. He's already scored from a yard away. And we're going to have a whistle, and it looks like that is the end of the first quarter. So what we will do here at PDF is take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the second quarter of action right here from the Joseph T. St. Lawrence Sports Center. It's the Bears 16 and the Bandits nothing. Stay with us. Unbeatable Tires and Accessories LLC is your tire for all seasons. Visit us 7 days a week and call us now at 347-879-3100. A tire for all seasons at Unbeatable Tires and Accessories, official partner of the Elite Football Alliance. Unbeatable Tires
When
and
it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American.
You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to.
Welcome back here as we are just about to start the second quarter. And Pear with helmets that have been flying. Now there are pairs in the end zone, and there is a helmet down and flags down as well. As we have
perhaps a substitution penalty.
Illegal substitution or an illegal touching it looked like, but that can't be the call. And it will be against the Bears. At least that was the initial ruling here. And we'll see where this ball goes. Unless they're going to say that the touchdown stands and the penalty comes after the touchdown. Not quite sure what the official call, but we see the officials getting together and trying to determine exactly how this one should get called. If the result of the play stands, it's a touchdown. If not, the Bears have to back up, and it will be second and goal from a little farther down. We'll see what they decide ultimately here. And it looks like the result of the play is going to stand. I see a 1 on the. Yeah, that flag certainly came down during the course of the play. We just don't know. And we'll see what happens here. Still trying to pay as close attention to the referee as possible, the head official. And they are going to back the Bears up here. Looks like the ball is going to be coming out. It was a 15-yard penalty, whatever the penalty was, unsportsmanlike. We did see a flag come out. Now, there is a 1. I believe the result of the play stands.
So a 15-yard penalty against the Bears brings the ball out to the 16-yard line.
So the ball's at the 16. We're just not sure if this is a 2-point conversion attempt or if the Bears scored a touchdown on that last play. Now, the down and distance marker says first down, but actually it's second now. So second down and goal.
Second and goal from the 16.
So no touchdown on that last play by Pear. Second down and 16, but second and goal, obviously, is the official down and distance. So obviously an unsportsmanlike it looked like. Either way, the Bears do it again 15 yards further down the field. Rodriguez gives it over to Pear. Pear with a hole in the middle, bouncing off one, is still on his feet and gets it inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. And it'll be a 3rd down and goal from about halfway home. And once again, the Bears looking to work quickly here. No huddle or muddle huddle. Substitutions coming in and out. As reporting back in, a pair of wide receivers here for New York. Looks like they'll go back to the spread formation. Calvin Webb has checked in. Persona is with him on the left side. That's a dangerous combination there on the left. Forever Williams and Anthony Brown on the right side. And we have a timeout called by the Bears. So the Bears want to discuss this 3rd down and goal opportunity. And we'll see what tricks they might have up their sleeve here. And we'll see what the Bandits cook up here on 3rd down. Now, when the Bears have run the football, they've really run it right up the gut, and they've depended on their running backs to twist things to the left or the right, depending on where the holes are opening up. But that improvisation at the line of scrimmage is really what we've seen from these running backs. Otherwise, the Bears have pretty much been lining up and running it right down the heart of the defense. And we'll see what they have to offer here on 3rd and 7. We've certainly seen Rodriguez put it up from this close. Same formation again, Rios.
And play ready to resume now after the timeout.
And Persona on the left.
The Bandits 7-yard line. Rodriguez is in the gun. He's going to shift Pear to the pistol.
Pear right behind him. And we're going to have another
whistle here.
No flag on the play unless they're waiting for official time to. We're going to have an official timeout on the field. So, after all of this, they will redo this one again. 3rd down and goal. Formation remains the same here for Rodriguez. He will have Pear to his right. Shotgun formation. Rodriguez is going to throw. He's looking in the middle of the end zone and has his man for a touchdown. It is Forever Williams with the score. Put another 6 on the board for the Bears. They are now up 22-0. So the Bears score after being backed up to their own 17-yard line on a 2nd and goal, are able to muster up a couple of plays, and Rodriguez was patient. He actually sidestepped a couple of paces to his right to make that throw, and then having to double back a little bit for it was Forever Williams. But that makes the score 22-0, and as expected, the Bears will go for 2 here.
Catch for the Bears. Rodriguez to Williams makes the score. Bears 22, Bandits nothing.
It'll be Rodriguez once again who will throw. He is looking once again middle of the back of the end zone, but that one is too high for Webb. Webb was the only one who really could get to that one, but couldn't convert that time, and so the score will remain 22-0 here in the early stages of the 2nd quarter. I want to thank all of our friends here at the EFA and, of course, here at the St. Lawrence Sports Complex for showing us some great hospitality up here in the upper deck of the stands. David Pizzuto alongside Andrew Rotundo, who's manning the engineering controls tonight for PDF Sports Network. We welcome Andrew to welcoming him to the broadcast. His first game with us and our third week of EFA coverage here on the PDF Sports Network. We do hope that we will have more EFA action all season long. So after all of this, 22-0 is our score. The Bandits going to try and muster together some offense here. They have been shut out through the first 5 quarters of their season. And although they did not turn the ball over on their last drive, they did have to settle for a 3-and-out and had to punt that from the shadow of their own end zone, and that set up the Bears with great field position. That scoring drive, 33 yards only for the Bears. And it ends up in a 7-yard touchdown pass from Rodriguez to Williams. And that's our score here, 22-0. Kick is up. It is a low kick, and it is fielded by Nicholson. Nicholson is going to find a little bit of room and get it up to his own 37-yard line. So the Bandits will take over here, looking to disturb what has so far been a one-sided affair here for the Bears. Some Bandits players on their sideline, of course, upset. They thought there was some penalties on that last play, but no laundry out. Either way, the Bandits have some pretty decent field position here at their own 37-yard line. It'll be Long once again, who will work the controls.
Bandits break the huddle on 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Spread formation once again, 2 wide receivers to each side. The give is up the middle to Williams, and he is going to be wrapped up. No gain, perhaps a gain of a half a yard or so. Carlos Rios was in on the stop, first Bear to meet him. It will be a 2nd and 10. We haven't seen Long truly look down the middle of the field yet. He's tried to work the sidelines when he has gone back to pass. Opening game of the season, the Bears gave up an interception return for a touchdown and a kickoff return for a touchdown.
And it's break the huddle again. Up to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
Once again, it is Long. Williams to his left, but Long is going to look, and he is going to look near sideline, and it is broken up. Campbell was the intended receiver. Justin Sapini was there defensively, and it will be a 3rd down and 10. Better throw that time from Long, and that was a one-on-one situation down the sideline. A nice defensive job there, breaking up the pass. So 3rd down and 10 here. The Bandits at their own 37. Probably closer to a 3rd and 9 here as they're a little closer to the 38-yard line. Long. He is once again going to look, and that one is nearly intercepted after it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And almost coming down with it was Nigel Swift. And it'll be a 4th down and close to 10. And it looks like once again the Bandits will be fixing to punt here, as coming back in is Nuriel Benitez to do the kicking. Done a good job so far on his punt attempts. Did try to tuck one down and try to convert a fake punt at one point. Couldn't do it. Back deep is Abalos for the Bears. He's going to be joined alongside number 36, who I believe we got late. Kenny Prolo wears number 36 for the Bears. Sun is about to set here in Hillburn, New York. We'll be grateful. Benitez, line drive, punt. And Abalos will end up taking it. He has to twist, and now he gains the sidelines, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. But nice job by Abalos to stay with that ball, pick it up, and have the wherewithal to cut it to the left, make a man miss, and set himself and his teammates up with decent field position. Now, players are spread all over the place. There's going to be a penalty against the Bears.
Looks like it's against the Bears.
And we'll see what the call is. That could, if it's a 10-yard penalty and occurred during the punt, that could be a first down for the Bandits. We'll see what the official call is here. And, of course, if not, if it's a 5-yard penalty, the Bandits will have to decide whether to re-kick this one. It is a running into the kicker, and it's a 5-yard penalty, and it looks like the Bandits will choose to replay the down. So they will re-kick this one. So the ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line. Officially a 4th down and 5. Once again, Abalos and Prolo are back deep for the Bears. Benitez to kick. And we have whistles everywhere. And it looks like a timeout called by the Bears.
And it looks like the Bears want to talk about it again.
And so they will break here. Next time we get a timeout, we'll shoot it over to commercial break. But for now, we'll keep it here since this should be a pretty quick timeout. As we are in the middle stages here of the second quarter. If you joined us late, the Bears have scored 3 touchdowns so far in this one, 2 two-point conversions, a 1-yard touchdown run by Kevin Pear, a 50-yard fumble return for number 22, Dwam Williams, and then a 7-yard touchdown pass from Rodriguez to Forever Williams. And that's our scoring here in this one. 4th down and 5. Officially here. Bears situated at their own 25-yard line waiting for this one. Benitez takes a good snap, and that one is up towards the left side, and it's going to be fielded by Abalos. Abalos once again sidesteps one man, makes one guy miss. He's at the 45. He's reversing field. He's at the 50. He's at the 40 and upended at the 37. Now there are flags down on the play around near where Abalos first picked up that ball. So this one may be coming all the way back. But for the second straight time, Abalos was able to scoop one up and make something out of it. But we will pan to the neighborhood in which our flag was down, and that was right at about the 25, 26-yard line. And the Bears, who thought they were about to start at the Bandits' 37-yard line, instead are going to be at their own 16, 1st and 10. So the Bears, who have been very effective at running the football here tonight, right up the middle of the field, and they have utilized their pair of running backs, number 24, Brandon Davis, and number 7, Kevin Pear, to really improvise at the line of scrimmage, make some guys miss, and get some yardage when there seemingly hasn't been a lot of real estate. And we'll see if they go back to that run game or if Rodriguez wants to start warming up that arm a little bit more. They will go once again with 4 wide receivers in the game.
So a long way to go for the Bears.
Mike
here,
Rodriguez
as they have the ball at their own 16-yard
is the lowest
line,
wide
1st and
receiver.
10.
Rodriguez barking out the signals. He'll take a 2-step drop, and he will look, and he will get Abalos. Abalos at the 25-yard line, close to the first down. He'll be just short. Looks like about a yard or so short of the first down.
24-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
So 2nd down and minimal yardage here. Call it 2 officially, as we hear on the public address. Pear is in at running back, and we have a whistle for a timeout called here by the Bandits. So we will step aside, take a quick break here for 30 seconds. When we come back, more EFA football action. It's the Bears 22 and the Bandits nothing. We'll keep it here. We'll keep it here, Andrew. No worries. As we are winding this timeout down. The Bandits, of course, shut out last week looking for their first offensive points, but they did play admirably defensively in that first half, especially against the Demon Knights. Turnovers is what really did them in. They only gave up the 1 first-half touchdown a week ago. And then, of course, they gave up a defensive touchdown, gave up a couple, and really spiraled from there. But otherwise, they did play well defensively. Now, the Bears have had some success in this one. Perhaps more so than the Demon Knights did in that first half, although Jaden Mann came in as quarterback for the Demon Knights in that second half and really did a real admirable job throwing it around. And Christian Grizzle was a big factor in that game as well. James had a big game.
All right, 2nd and 2 Bears from
but we are set for action here. 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 2 officially. Rodriguez.
Rodriguez takes the snap. He's back to pass.
He's going to look deep down the middle of the field and a little too strong for Persona.
3rd down and 2.
And so it'll be 3rd down and short. So recognizing the 2nd and short with plenty of options in the playbook, the Bears elect to throw one deep. And we've seen that connection before between these two plenty of times. That time was just a little bit too strong.
3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Bears.
So 3rd and 2.
24-yard line.
Davis back in at running back, and the give is to him. He has to sideswipe a couple of men. That was actually Pear in the backfield, and he does get about 5 yards and gets a first down. So fresh set of downs for the Bears, and again, Pear doing a good job of making something out of nothing. Looked like he got held up at the line of scrimmage, but was able to move laterally, make a couple of guys miss, and ground and pound some hard yards.
1st and 10 Bears.
New set of down for the Bears. As the sun begins to set here and the field almost completely covered in shadow. Rodriguez once again working out of the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set, 2 to each side. Rodriguez looking right side, and that pass is complete towards the sticks.
Number 80,
Shafi Harris is going to be close to another Bears first down.
Looks like he's going to be spotted just shy.
The 2nd down and about a yard.
For the Bears at their own 37-yard line. 9-yard reception for Harris.
Ball officially at the 37, a yard short, right in front of our camera.
So 2nd down and 1 yard to go for the Bears.
2nd and 1.
37-yard line.
3 down linemen here. They do send 5, and it's going to be a Wildcat. And number 19 is going to take it to the 50, close to, he does have easily another first down. Rashad Hector with his first carry of the season.
13 yards on second and
13-yard gain.
It'll be 1st and 10 Bears at midfield.
So the Bears halfway home here. They get to the midfield stripe. That time a direct snap right to number 19, Rashad Hector, whose number we had not called to this point. That works out pretty well. Substitution spilling into the game now for the Bears as they get some fresh down linemen.
All right, 1st and 10 Bears at midfield.
In front of Rodriguez.
After the 13-yard keep.
Rodriguez will take it. He will give it to Pear. Pear has some running room to the 45, and he is going to go airborne. And it looks like he might have gotten a cleat into Benitez as he tried to go over him. A gain of about 8 on the play. I don't know if we'll get another chance to see that one on replay, but boy, oh boy, he went sky high, and it looked like Benitez might have caught most of his cleat on that one. Bandits wanted a penalty on that. Not getting it, and it'll be 2nd down and about 2 as a result.
Second and 2 for the Bears at the Bandit 42-yard line.
Rodriguez once again, this time with Davis to his right, but he's going to throw all the way. He's looking down to the left side and in and out of the hands and off the chest of Rodriguez. He had to double back and try to frame it up, and he just could not see it all the way through. Pretty good throw by Juan Rodriguez, and it'll be a 3rd down and short, as once again on 2nd and short, they elect to try for the home run.
And 3rd down and 2 now for the Bears at the Bandit 42-yard line.
Once again, this is Rodriguez now out of shotgun formation, 3rd down and short. He's throwing all the way. This time he's going to look right sideline, and it's overthrown for Harris. And it'll be 4th down, and we would imagine the Bears will be going here. So 4th and short, and on 2nd and 3rd and short, the Bears elected to go over top of the defense, look for the quick 6. We'll see what they decide to do here. They have had success running the football. Bandits bunch the line of scrimmage. The give is going to be to Davis. Davis, right side, finds a hole, and he is down at about the 25-yard line. He needed 2, and he got 17 on the play. It'll be 1st down.
On 4th and 2 to give the Bears a 1st down at the Bandit 26.
So the Bears continue to move the football here in the 2nd quarter. They'll have a 1st and 10 at the Bandits 26 as that ball gets spotted down. Rodriguez letting Davis know what the play is.
26-yard line.
It is going to be the give to Davis. Davis with some blockers. He is inside the 10. There is a late flag that comes down, but Davis is inside the 10. And if this one is backed up as we have a player down.
He is up. He's up on his own. Give him a hand.
And it will be a holding call on the Bears. Now, if this happened up the field, it'll happen at the spot of the foul.
From the 12-yard line.
So now the officials will back it up.
Enforced from the 12.
So it looks like they're going to spot the ball at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
It'll be a replay of 1st down.
First and 10 for the Bears at the 22.
Looks like and 7. 1st and 6 for the Bears at the Bandit 22-yard line.
I guess it'll be less than that. 1st and 6. Rodriguez once again taking his time. Clock is stopped at this point after the penalty.
Rodriguez takes a snap.
And he is going to look middle of the field and now does find his man. That's Persona. Persona inside the 10, the 5, touchdown. Preston Persona in stride from Rodriguez. A 22-yard touchdown. It's 28-0 in favor of the Bears. Get another look at that one as Rodriguez was able to take it, meeting Persona in stride, and Persona able to do the rest from inside the 5, taking it in. And he gives his team a 28-0 lead here in the second quarter. Bears well on their way to breaking this one open completely. They can go up by 30 here with this. That's a fade by Harris in the end zone, and he comes down with it. That was a one-handed grab for the 2-point conversion, and the Bears are now up 30-0. So another 2-point conversion that has been successful for the Bears as well, makes it a 30-0 game. And it's been a long first half here for the New York Bandits, who fell last week by a score of 32-0 to the Empire State Demon Knights. And now they are down by a 30 spot here at halftime, or closing in on halftime, I should say. The Bears about to kick off here. Bandits finished 2-7 last season. And since they've joined, or since the EFA has been in existence, these two teams, this is their third meeting with one another. They met once in 2018 and once in 2019. The Bandits beat the Bears in 2018, 22-18. And then when the teams met in 2019, the Bears won that game 27-6. Of course, the Bears not fielding a team in 2020 or in 2021 and are back in the EFA this season after their 2-year hiatus.
And a low end-over-end kick.
And that one is picked up by Ross. Ross trying to make something out of nothing here, has to duck under a couple of defenders, and he'll have it about the 22-yard line, 23. And that's where the Bandits will have a first down. They have been unable to register a first down since the early stages of the first quarter on their opening drive of the game. A drive that ended in a fumble return for a touchdown for the Bears on what was a 4th down and 8, in which the Bandits went for it. If the Bears are able to, of course, hold on and win this game, they'll improve to 2-1 on the season. They'll join the Gators as the only 2-win team in the league. This is the only game in the EFA this weekend. The other 4 teams are idle. The Gators, the Pharaohs, the Legion, and the Demon Knights. So after 3 weeks complete, every team would have had a bye except for the Bears. They're the only team to have played all 3 weeks.
And 1st and 10 Bandits at their own 22-yard line here in the second quarter.
So now it is Long to take over here.
Long takes a snap.
And he cannot get out of the rush. There were 3 black jerseys in the neighborhood on Long. Looked like the first in there was Justin Hunter.
It'll be 2nd and long.
And it is going to be a 2nd and long, and really no chance for Long there in the pocket. barely time to raise his eyes into the coverage, and he was swallowed up. And so the ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line. Second down and 17.
From the 15-yard line.
We did have a whistle here come in. I don't know if that's the 2-minute warning or not. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the fingers go up. And now I do. Yes, it is the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go here until halftime. The Bears are up 30-0. The Bandits looking to have some type of positivity going into the halftime, something to take with them into the second half.
15-yard line.
Second and 17 from the 15. Looks like it is Parker behind center.
Holden takes the snap. Back to
It actually will be Holden. And a throw is down the middle of the field, and that is complete. And making a man miss at the 50, the 40, and down from there is Jason Tyler. Nice catch and run. Biggest play of the game for the Bandits. It's 1st and 10 inside Bears territory. That was a pretty play. And of course, with under 2 minutes to go, the teams will now race up. Holden will drop back, makes one man miss, has a lot of real estate ahead of him. He's at the 30 and down at the 26-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of a first. And the clock continues to run here. So Holden, who came in at quarterback on this drive, is leading the Bandits here, as I believe we're going to have a timeout called.
It'll be 2nd and 2 Bandits at the Bear 26-yard line.
Andrew, do we have a replay of that last pass down the field? Can we cue that up one more time? I just wanted to see as we get ready for this play, and we'll let you know what transpires.
Holden takes the snap, back to pass, looks right, fires right.
As that pass was in the dirt. But yeah, it looked like the cornerback on the play kind of gave up once he thought Holden was going to tuck it down and run with it. And a great job by Holden to see it and to complete the pass to Tyler. Nice play and nice job, Andrew, with the replay. Appreciate that very much. And we're going to have a 3rd down and 2 coming up, as the last pass was incomplete, as Tyler was the intended receiver again. At least he was the closest in the neighborhood.
3rd and 2.
Holden still continues to be the quarterback. Tramell Williams is in the backfield with him. He is going to look near side. Holden might tuck it down again and try to run it. He does. He does get the first down. He's twisted up, and we're going to have a flag down on a late hit issued by the Bears. It's kind of unnecessary. Thought we'd hear some whistles, though, even before that. Looked like Holden was wrapped up and down on the play. But they're going to add some yardage to this for sure. So we'll see what results of this. Dead ball personal foul on the Bears. So it'll be half the distance from the spot of the foul. Looks like it'll be about the 11-yard line. See the spot of the ball there, and the Bandits will have the ability to get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but their deepest penetration of the game here for sure.
All right, Bandits 1st and 10 at the Bear 11-yard line as they break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage.
1st down and 10 officially. 11 for the touchdown. Holden looks the middle of the end zone. Touchdown. It will be caught. A nice throw. It's Ross on the completion. And right before the end of the first half, the Bandits have scored their first points of the season. Holden hooking up with Ross, 11-yard touchdown, and it's 30-6. That's definitely got to make the Bandits feel good going into halftime. Sure, they'll be down by what could be 24 or 22 points at the half, but when you're able to drive down the length of the field, especially in the manner in which they were able to do it, Holden coming into the game and making something happen with his legs, and of course now with his arm as well.
Extra point attempt here for Benitez.
It's going to be a 1-point attempt for Benitez. See what results here. Spot is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Benitez.
Benitez on the kick, and that makes the score Bears 30, Bandits 7.
And it's 30-7. Nice job by the Bandits. A great response. And you could see the elation and the large exhale for the Bandits. A lot of confidence coming here for the Bandits as we approach halftime, and it's well-deserved. That was a really good drive by the Bandits to twilight the first half here. We'll see if the Bears have any time to really have an answer. But couldn't have ended the first half in any better fashion for the Bandits. They really needed something positive, and I would have settled for a couple of first downs, maybe getting midway down the field, getting some positive yardage put together, but they sure did better than that on that drive. Holden coming in at quarterback number 21, making plays happen. They got the benefits of a 15-yard penalty on that drive, and they made it hurt. Finalized by the pass to Ross in the end zone, 11 yards officially on the touchdown. And then Benitez with an extra point, makes it 30-7. Benitez will be the gentleman kicking it off here.
And Benitez set to kick it away for the Bandits after the long touchdown drive for the Bandits. Got him on the board.
30-7 officially is our score as the Bandits kick off to the Bears here in the waning moments of the first half. It is a line drive kick. It's going to end up with the up man. And not going down is Myers. He's still on his feet. Now he reverses field again and is heading towards the 34-yard line. And that might be the end of the first half. I believe it is. It is indeed. So we have reached halftime here at the Joseph T. St. Lawrence Sports Center, home of the New York Bears, who have a 30-7 lead going into halftime. This is PDF Sports Network here on coverage of the EFA. Stay with us.
All right, folks, we've got some halftime entertainment for you. Show for you here.
We welcome you back here to Hillburn, New York. The officials are back onto the field, and we are about to get the second half started here between the New York Bandits and the New York Bears. You see it on your screen, the Bears with a 30-7 lead here in this one. They got off to a 30-0 lead. They scored 16 in the first quarter, 14 in the second. But the Bandits were the team to score last, and they had a very nice drive to end the first half. Gets us excited to see them and what they come out with here in the second half. And it was Holden who took over at quarterback for the Bandits, who really infused a charge into this team. Holden wearing number 21. You see him on the bottom of your screen. And we'll frame him up a little bit better for you. But, yeah, we've seen backup quarterbacks come in the game on occasion for a few teams this season. And we've seen the spark that they have given. Meanwhile, some long tossing going on the other side of the field as well. This has been a pretty lengthy halftime here, and I'm not sure if that was done on purpose or not, if there was a reason for the extra delay. But this halftime is closing in on about 20 minutes now. But we will bring it back to you as soon as we are set to go. It seems like the Bandits have already kind of lined up their kickoff return team, which has actually been pretty good as well in this game. Ross has done a nice job back there. We've seen the Bandits take a kickoff return almost all the way back last week. Ended up at the 5-yard line. And looking at my roster, I noticed that Wahante Holden, who's in at quarterback, was listed as number 27. He's actually wearing number 21. But what matters is that we do have him on the roster. He wasn't wearing the correct number, but now we do have it. We knew it was Holden in at quarterback, matched him up to his correct number. And it looks like we are just about set to go here. We see your officials entering your screen. PDF Sports Network's coverage of the EFA. We hope to have it for you all season long. PDF Sportsnet will be featuring high school football as well in September. We will be featuring some fast-pitch softball in September as well, so stay tuned for that. We plan to bring you some high school sports throughout the year, some college sports throughout the year, the continuing coverage, obviously, of the EFA and semi-professional football. So we have a lot on tap for you coming up this season here on the PDF Sports Network. This is our third official week of broadcast. It started 2 weeks ago at Facina Field in New Rochelle for the EFA kickoff doubleheader. Last week we were in Medford, New York, Granny Road Park, to watch the Demon Knights and Bandits, and here we are to watch Bears and Bandits. And we've been treated very well by the EFA. We want to thank everybody affiliated with the Elite Football Alliance for having us, the great crew here at Joseph T. St. Lawrence Sports Center. Welcomed us with open arms, and here we go. Start of the second half. It's a good kick, and that one goes over the head of Ross. Will Ross see this go all the way into the end zone? He does, and it will be a touchback. Another good kick, that time from the Bears, who we do not have on our roster, number 41. But the Bandits, who are fresh off a very good drive to end the first half, have the ball first here to start the second on the far side of the field. Andrew and I very grateful that the sun has set here at the field. It was, now Andrew is a little cold here.
Something to drink or a sausage.
As he's shivering there, makes the shivering
Bandits at their own 25-yard line.
motion, I guess. But it is a gorgeous night otherwise here. Perfect for football and for these boys down there. Couldn't ask for better weather. So here we go, second half action underway here. Once again, it is Holden who will take the snaps now. He replaced Randy Long in the second quarter here in this one. Late arriving into the backfield is Andrew Nareska, one of his first times we've seen him tonight. Holden is going to drop, and now he's going to tuck it down, and he is going to rush up the field to about the 30. He gets about halfway there. It'll be 2nd and 5. And that's something that we have seen Holden do time and again. The rush has been there for the Bears. They've definitely gotten into the backfield, but Holden able to sidestep, make a couple of things happen in the backfield, and has been able to tuck it down and run and get positive yards. And if you're the Bandits, that is a focus, is do not move backwards here. Everything needs to be forward, and they did a nice job of that to end the first half. We'll see how it works out here to start the second. 2nd down and 5. 4 wide receiver set as they operate out of the spread formation. Oreska is still in the backfield to the right of Holden. And there is the quick toss over to the right. That's going to be a first down. There is a flag down on the play. Tyler with the catch. The flag is at about the 25. It is against the Bandits. So it looks like this one is coming back. So 2nd and 5 will become 2nd and 15. The Bears will obviously not take the result of the play instead, because that did go for a first down. That'll be wiped away. Quick pass out to the flat on that last drive. In open space was Tyler. Tyler, of course, had that big catch and run on that drive where the Bandits ended up scoring a touchdown. Kind of a broken play in the backfield that Holden was able to develop. So after all this, it's 2nd and 10. That was a 5-yard penalty on the Bandits. Actually, they are backing it up further. So it's 2nd and 15, as we thought from the start. Important that they get it right, and they did. 2nd down and 15. Holden barking out the orders. He's in shotgun formation. He looks to the left, and now he's going to put it up towards the sideline. And is the catch made? No, out of bounds. It was incomplete pass as the line judge making the decision very quickly to wave that one off as out of bounds. So it'll be a 3rd down and 15. Ross was the intended receiver. He did make the catch, but he was out of bounds when he did. And again, it was Holden able to scamper out of the pocket to make that play develop, buying him a precious extra second or two. And he's going to need that here on this play as well, because it is a 3rd and long. Time to get his players down the field. Ross and Tyler have been his 2 predominant targets here when he's gone back to pass. Spread wide also is Campbell on the near side. He's just off your screen.
3rd and long, 15 to go from the 20-yard line for the Bandits. Ramirez takes the snap back to pass.
Once again under duress, and he gets held up and now continues to make it happen, and he is going to be gobbled up at about the 10-yard line. So a loss there on that one. So it'll be 4th down and a lot. 25. And they will have to punt here. So not what the Bandits wanted on their opening drive. They had the tough penalty that negated a first down. And the next thing you know, it's 4th down and 25. Cahill Ross came back to the sidelines for the Bandits, saying that he actually made that catch. He wanted that catch to stand and said they should have went to a replay. Well, maybe we would have had it, yeah. There you go. He's continuing to ask for it. Maybe at some point that'll be a reality. In any event, Benitez is back to kick, and he's done a good job doing that. Abalos is back. Benitez gets it off. Abalos fields at the 40. He reverses field to the 45, gains the 40, 35. There's a flag down. Abalos still on the sideline. He's going to go all the way in for a touchdown. And perhaps no flag down. Thought I saw one come down late. There was none. Abalos takes it to the house. 40-yard punt return, and the Bears are up 36-7. So that's how you make a statement in the second half of a ball game in which you gave up a late touchdown. You get a chance to see it here on the replay. It's a pretty decent punt. Abalos does well to field clean. He reverses and then lets his blockers take over. Very patient, hits that sideline, and no one touches him from about the 25-yard line in. And 6 points for the Bears, and they will now set up for 2 to try and restore their 30-point lead. They're up by 29 at this point, looking to make it 31. Oglesby is behind Rodriguez. First offensive snap of the second half. Rodriguez is going to throw it, looking for the quick slant near the goal line, but that is incomplete. Pass was intended for Webb, and so it'll be 36-7, and the Bears have themselves a 29-point lead after being up by as much as 30 in the game. And the Bandits will get the ball back here. But it's interesting how things kind of snowball out of control. We saw the Bandits pick up a first down on a good catch and run. Turns out there's a penalty. It backs them up. And next thing you know, they have to punt from their own goal line and a 40-yard return.
21 is now 1. Patrick, I don't know when is the last time you updated your roster, but
this morning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, this was done this afternoon. Okay. That's Patrick Ramirez. Yeah, so he was wearing 21, now he's wearing 1.
Okay, got it. We've been told that, let's see.
Okay.
Thanks, Earl. Gotcha. All right, as we were working out some roster discrepancies there, I want to make sure we got the right, but I've been saying it's been Holden at quarterback. Patrick Ramirez has been the quarterback here. We apologize for that. This is Ross now at about the 7-yard line. Ross continues to take it. He runs into a wall, and about the 25-yard line, he will go down there. About an 18-yard return. Hard-hitting Bears on that kickoff return. And so as we resume here, it will be Patrick Ramirez working the controls here for the Bandits. One of the things we have been told by all the teams in the EFA is that rosters do tend to settle down around week 3 and week 4 and kind of lock in. And so until then, they continue to get worked and finalized.
It'll be 1st and 10 Bandits at their own 27. A 19-yard kickoff.
So Ramirez, who was wearing number 21, has changed his uniform to number 1. Something must have happened to his uniform, either torn or blood on it. Ramirez now scampers to his right, and he is going to go out of bounds. Minimal yardage, might have gotten a yard or so. Might have lost a yard. But that's what Ramirez has been doing, buying time in the pocket and coming out. And that one is going to be a loss of about 1 on the play. So 2nd and 11 from the 25. Bandits, as we mentioned, will be back in action next week, once again on the road. At the Pharaohs, the defending champs. Then they'll take on the Demon Knights in a return game there. Technically their first true home game of the season. And then after a bye, they will be at the New York Legion. So that's what's coming next for the Bandits after tonight. They are down by 29 on the scoreboard, 36-7.
And the Bandits break the huddle on second
Ramirez
down and 12 from their
on
own
2nd and 11
25-yard line.
will have, once again, spread formation. Tremel Williams in the backfield, and it's the fake to him. They're going to look towards the sideline, and it is complete at about the 30-yard line. Campbell is wrangled out of bounds. We'll see exactly where they snap it. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 from the 35. So manageable 3rd down distance here for the Bandits. And Patrick Ramirez gets instructions from his sideline and relays them to the huddle. And we'll see what the Bandits have to offer here on 3rd down and 6. Or 7. Shotgun formation. There's the look. He's going to go in. The ball's down. The ball is out. It was picked up by Williams. Williams is going to reverse field. And still on his feet. And finally, he is going to be wrestled down at the 27-yard line. But another turnover for the Bandits. Williams, who ran back the first touchdown, ran back the first fumble for a touchdown. We'll get another look at it here. And Ramirez just trying to make something out of nothing, try to get it out of the pocket, but I thought at first this was going to be a lateral, but faked me out on the camera, and coming back out with it was Williams, who then was able to get bottled up. But another turnover here for the Bandits, their 2nd of the game. And the Bears are in business again. They're going to have the ball at about the 25, 26-yard line. As soon as they put that ball down, as soon as they get a ball for the field, now they do, it'll be placed at about the 26-yard line. Rodriguez still in the game for the Bears, and it'll be Pear with him in the backfield.
Rodriguez in the gun with Pear to his right.
4 wide receiver set once again out of the spread. Rodriguez looks to pass all the way. He's looking corner of the end zone, and it's just a little bit short. Webb was the intended receiver on the play. Did have about a half a step on the defender, but that one was thrown a little bit low and short, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Once again, the Bears elect not to go into a huddle here. They will line up at the line of scrimmage and accelerated.
2nd and 10 Bears at the Bandit 26.
2nd down and 10. Once again, Rodriguez barking out the signals. And he is going to look right side this time. Middle of the field, and it's just overthrown to Abalos. If that pass was on the money and in stride, Abalos would have walked into the end zone. Good idea for the Bears. They just misfired. Abalos had cut in just a couple of steps, and that pass was just a little high and a little wide to Abalos. So now a 3rd and 10. Chance here for the Bandits to set the Bears up with 4th down and long to go. We'll see what the Bears dial up here if they want to get a little bit closer in 4-down territory. It is Pear in the game. And it's going to be Rodriguez back to pass again. He looks to Pear out in the flat, and they go shoulder to shoulder. Now reverses field to the 30, gains the 25, and gets it to about the 22-yard line. So a minimal gain on the play, but Pear doing well to get some positivity out of that play. A play that the Bandits had otherwise sniffed out pretty well. It'll be 4th down and 6. Abalos will be the one to relay the play in, I think. Bears will go 3 to the right side here, as lining up is Donteek Jones just off your screen. Trips right, Forever Williams trips left, Forever Williams to the right.
Takes the snap, back to pass.
Back to pass is Rodriguez. He's looking middle of the field, and its pass was just behind Abalos, and the Bandits will take over on downs. Nice defensive series for the Bandits. The Bears misfiring on a couple of would-be pass attempts, and here we are in the third quarter. The Bandits will take over on downs. Down by a bunch in the scoreboard. Bandits hoping to piece some things together here in the second half, something that can take with them into Brooklyn next week against the Pharaohs. Still obviously plenty of time in this one. We've seen teams score points in bunches in the second half of some of the games that we've seen. The Bears, including last week against the Legion, put up a bunch of points in the second half, ended up winning 32-0. Bandits scored their first points of the season right before halftime. Patrick Ramirez with an 11-yard touchdown pass.
At their own 22-yard line.
To Ross.
After the turnover on downs.
And they will go once again out of the spread formation. Back to pass and looking towards the sideline, and it's just a little bit too overthrown to Ross. Good idea. As once again, they were looking on the sideline for Ross, who's been busy. He was working one-on-one against number 12, Mike Rodriguez. It'll be 2nd and 10. Nice crowd has collected here in Hillburn, enjoying the beautiful night and the beautiful skies and the scenery here. Couldn't ask for a better venue. Very thankful to be here. The PDF Sports Network's coverage of the Elite Football Alliance. Week 3 of the regular season. They play 8 regular season games spread over 11 weeks. Every team is off on Labor Day weekend. So that's an automatic bye week for all teams, and then they have 2 other byes spread the season, and then there's playoffs, and the league will let us know how many teams will be involved in the playoffs around mid-season. 2nd down and 10. Ramirez. And it's going to be a toss behind the line of scrimmage. And now making something out of nothing, it was Tyler again. Tyler, an exciting play. And he'll have a first down. And we say it very often, making something out of nothing. It looked like the Bears had penetrated the line of scrimmage, had gotten into the backfield, but credit Jason Tyler for making a couple of Bears miss and displaying some of that speed that he has and getting it over to the sideline. The Bears with the officially 15-yard gain, and they will have it 1st and 10 just outside their 37-yard line.
1st and 10 Bandits after the 15-yard run by Tyler.
Looks like Nareska is in the backfield with Ramirez. Shotgun formation. It's the pass out in the flat. It is corralled. One man misses Ross, and he gets it out across the 40 to the 42-yard line, a gain of 5 yards. Gain of 5 makes it 2nd and 5. And again, the Bandits choosing to be creative at the line of scrimmage with their offensive players in open space, making people miss, generating some offense here. Down by 29 on the scoreboard, they look to chip away. Ramirez, who's been good since he's entered in the second quarter. He's going to go back to pass. Under heavy duress. Makes one man miss, throws it down the field, and that is overthrown. 2 defenders in the neighborhood. It was over everybody. Darren Jackson was the closest defensive back to it. Went through his hands, above his hands. It'll be 3rd down and 5. But the Bandits have been pretty good on these 3rd and manageable plays where they have run into trouble as when they've been pitched back deep, 3rd and long, deep in their own territory. But on 3rd and 5, they have plenty to choose from here. Bandits will go once again, operating out of the spread. It is Noreska in the backfield. No, actually it's Tremel Williams in the backfield with Ramirez. Once again, operating out of the shotgun, Ramirez. Long snap. He's looking to the left side. It's in and out of the hands of Campbell. He was the intended receiver. That would have been a first down or very close to it. And on 4th and 5, it looks like the Bandits are fixing to go for it here at their own 42-yard line. And we'll see what they opt to do. Number 88 checks into the game as well. Extra offensive weapon as the Bandits are choosing to line up in the huddle here. Slow getting out of it. Ross is over on the near side.
Break the huddle on 3rd down. 3rd and 5 from their own 42-yard line.
Tyler is on the far side. Those have been the two big weapons here for Ramirez. Last-minute instructions at the line of scrimmage. Ramirez, long count, a lot of movement. And the ball comes out late to Ramirez. We'll see which direction this goes on. The Bears say it's against the Bandits. The Bandits say it's against the Bears. Looks like this will be against the team in white. We'll see what happens as they want to talk things over, do the referees.
False start against the Bandits. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll back them up 5 and make it 4th and 10.
And it will be indeed against the Bandits, so false start there. They'll back them up 5 yards. And it'll be 4th and 10 now. Looks like the Bandits are still going to go for it here as Ramirez returns to the huddle. They'll talk this one over. Scoreboard officially says 4th and 9. It looks like a 4th and 10, though, from up here. Either way, they need to get to about the 47-yard line for a first down. See what they elect to do here. Ross in the slot on the near side. He's been one of the big weapons here. And we have another flag as more movement, and it will be a false start against the Bandits. So the announcer's hex, I mentioned how the Bandits have prospered in these 3rd and 4th and manageable situations, but boom, back-to-back penalties, and now it's, instead of 4th and 5, it's 4th and 15, and they're bringing in Benitez to punt. Probably the wiser choice here. The Bandits will have 2 men back. That's Abalos and Prolo, excuse me. Kenny Prolo is wearing number 36. He was a late addition to the roster, and the Bandits are going to call a timeout. So the Bandits have called for time as they were taking too long with their personnel substitutions. Maybe a chance to talk things over on the 4th. We will see what the decision ends up being. We're in the later stages of the 3rd quarter. The Bears have the only score of this half. They are up 36-7 in this one. So coming up next week, the Bandits will be right back in action. They'll be in Brooklyn to take on the Pharaohs, and the undefeated Gators will be in action as well, taking on the Legion. Our crew may be at one of those contests next week. We won't know for sure until the schedule comes together for the EFA. Try to line it up for you and let you know. And remember that you can follow us on Facebook, PDF Sports Network, on Twitter and Instagram as well, and of course on pdfsportsnet.com. There's the snap. Benitez puts it up. Another good kick, and it ends up by Abalos. Abalos to the 40, to the 45, the 50. He's still on his feet. Now cuts into the near side. He's still making people miss. Abalos could very well have his second punt return for a touchdown, but he was indeed tripped up at about the 15-yard line. And they will be in business, set up at the Bandits' 16-yard line. Another great return for Abalos. Looks like we may get another look at this in just a moment. Abalos, who scored on a punt return earlier in this third quarter. We'll see this one all the way through. There was another good kick by Benitez. Can't fault the punt here. It stayed up long, gave his defenders a chance to get to it, and fielded at his own 37-yard line. You could see the jukeability and the cut moves by Abalos, making people miss. The blocking was there, never truly ended, and that's a nice tackle from behind made by the Bandits to break up what could have been another punt return for a touchdown by Abalos. He had the only touchdown score of this third quarter. Last time the Bears had possession, they were in deep, and they turned it over on downs. This is another Wildcat formation. Rashad Hector is going to be the quarterback here. He gives inside to Pear, and he gets a few yards. Bandits slow to get up there and now back. So perhaps Juan Rodriguez's night is done for the Bears. We'll see if he checks back in, but looks like Rashad Hector is staying in the game. 6-foot quarterback from Liberty High School in Newark, New Jersey. Takes over at quarterback here in the late stages of the third quarter. The Bears up by a bunch, but placed with good field position at a 15-yard line. 2nd down and 9. It's going to be an inside give to Pear. Pear wants to bounce it out to the right. He has to double back. He makes one man miss and now gains the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and is close, bearing down on the goal line. That looks like it'll be a 1st and goal. You might want to get another look at that one, as Pear, who seemed to be bottled up to the right, then again to the left, was able to bounce it out and end up with a gain of 12 on the play when it looked like he could be down with as much as a 5 or 6 yard loss. And there we do get another quick look at it. Caught the tail end there of when he got out of a tackle, but a nice job to get himself 1st and goal. Hector so far has handed the ball off so far, and he's going to keep it himself. Once again, the Bandits cannot wrap him up, and now they do. Whistles do blow, and he is back out above the 10-yard line, so they will back up about 8 yards on that. Good job by the Bandits that time to stay the course and wrap up Hector. So they call it officially a loss of 3 at the 6. Yeah, that's a very forgiving spot there, as looked like Hunter was certainly trying to advance the ball and backed up on his own. Either way, it'll be a 2nd and goal from the 6. It's Hector with Oglesby in the backfield. The give is to Oglesby. Up the middle, still trying to penetrate, but he got wrapped up pretty quick, and it'll be 3rd down and goal. Looked like Oglesby was going to try as we work on our scoreboard. Trying to get that back for you, and we do.
And the Bears break the huddle and head to the line of scrimmage on.
All right, third down and goal.
From the Bandits' 6-yard line.
And it looks like we're going to have whistles. This could be the end of the quarter. It is the end of the third quarter. So we will step aside, take a break. When we come back, it'll be third and goal for the Bears. Your score, the New York Bears 36, the New York Bandits 7 at the end of 3. Stay with us. This is the EFA on PDF Sports Network.
Laid out for me.
Boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind.
You're really gonna like it.
I hope so. Yeah. I know this road is there for me. There is a long way.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
The ways down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
I got this.
I know this love is there for me.
Okay.
If I'm really free, take me down to the river and wash me.
We are back here getting ready to start the fourth quarter between the Bears and the Bandits. The Bears knocking on the door. You see the scoreboard there. Third down and goal from the 6. They've had good success on this side of the field, punching things in, looking for their first offensive score of the second half.
The Bears have third and goal at the Bandits' 6-yard
Let's see what they have to offer us. Hector with Oglesby. Takes the, and he's going to flick it over to the left. And that is going to be short of the goal line. Anthony Brown was on the catch. He gets it about the 3-4 yard line. And it'll be fourth down and goal. I believe that was Anthony Brown's first catch of the game. A lot of reserve players have come in for the Bears. Hector, this is his first true drive, although he did have a play or two earlier in the game. Oglesby as well. On the far side, Donteek Jones.
Fourth and goal Bears at the Bandit 3-yard
Forever
line.
Williams is in the slot on the near side. Hector is going to look in the corner of the end zone. And it's a touchdown. That was caught, and a beauty of a catch. Donteek Jones, who we mentioned was spread out far wide, and that was a perfect timing play and doubling back and making the catch. It's 42-7 in favor of the Bears. As Andrew cues up that replay, that will be one for the highlight reel for sure. As we'll take a look at it, watch Jones on the top of your screen. You can see him matched up one-on-one. And Hector looks at him the entire way, back shoulder. And Donteek makes himself a great catch. It's 42-7. And the Bears, as expected, will line up for 2. Officially a 3-yard touchdown pass.
Break the huddle and move to the line of scrimmage on this 2-point attempt. Hector is in the gun with Oglesby to his right. One receiver wide right.
So a chance to open up a bigger lead. Hector is going to roll to the right near the goal line and in for the 2. Seated right at the goal line and making the grab was number 86 on the play. It might be Kenny Proilo, not sure. We don't have an 86 on our roster. It's number 88, I believe. Kenny Prelo. So 44-7 will be our score as the Bears continue to add to their lead. Get another chance to see that replay. So the Bears on their way to improving to 2-1 on the season as they score in the first few plays of the fourth quarter. A lot to be happy about if you are a New York Bears fan. A couple of games here at home against the Legion and the Bandits. They assumingly come out with a couple of victories at the end of this, and next week they will be off. So heading into their bye week with a record of 2-1, that's got to feel pretty good for the team that was on hiatus for 2 years and has rejoined the EFA after the 2020 COVID year and then another year in 21 where they did not field the team. Welcome back to the EFA and welcome to the top of the standings. They sent a message to many people with a very good opening game against the Brooklyn Pharaohs, a game in which they did not allow an offensive score until the fourth quarter. The Pharaohs broke a 12-12 tie in that fourth quarter and ended up winning 26-12. But the Bears turned some heads in that opening game, and then they put a punctuation mark on it when they beat the Legion by 32 last week, and now they're up by 37 here against the Bandits. Here is the kickoff, and it travels to the Bandits. This is Tyler, I believe, and Tyler is going to be spilled out short of the 30-yard line, about the 25-26. And when they start up, it'll be at the 27-yard line for the Bandits. So similar to the second quarter when the Bandits were down by 30, we talked about getting the little things pieced together to hang your hat on for the future. And that's exactly what the mission is, you would have to think, here in the fourth. Small victories that they can take into next week against Brooklyn. It's a Pharaohs team. It looks like they might be fixing to redo this kick as there was a penalty on the play. But like we were saying, the Bandits will travel to Brooklyn to face the Pharaohs next week, another very tough test for them. But the goal in the EFA is to be better as the season progresses. You want to be a better team in week 10 and 11 than you obviously were on week 1. And that goes for every team. And the EFA is a special league in that they do not decide on how many teams make the playoffs until midway through the season. They want to give every team that has a chance to win and is in playoff contention a chance to lift the trophy. And so we'll see around week 4, week 5, how many teams will figure into the playoff picture, and then it's a race from there. That kick bounces at about the 25 and is picked up and now heading towards the sideline and out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Christopher Needham was the kick returner. And so instead of taking over at about the 27, they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. In case you joined us late, the Bears scored a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter to take a 16-0 lead. They added a couple more touchdowns in the second. They were up 30-0 at one point. The Bandits scoring on the tail end of the second quarter right before halftime. It was 30-7 at the half. A punt return by Abalos for the Bears made it 36-7, and then a 3-yard touchdown pass to Donteek Jones from Hector, backup quarterback, and a 2-point conversion, and there's your score, 44-7. Ramirez with Tramel Williams in the backfield with him. Ramirez spots up, throws it over to Ross. Ross has a lot of room, cuts it to the middle of the field and gets it to the 45-yard line. Nice open field tackle by a couple of Bears there, but Ross looked like he might have been out to the races. Very nearly broke that one open. Either way, a good play. And once again, the Bandits working at the line of scrimmage with their players in open space, making a man miss and getting positive yardage. Important that they do not go backwards here via the penalty. It's been something they've been plagued with all game, and that one is thrown forward pass incomplete. It was intended for Needham. Well, 2nd down and 10. But that's been the theme here for the Bandits. That's where they have had success in this one. Spot passes right at the line of scrimmage, making their receivers work in space. Some rub routes there to get the defensive backs off the ball. Bandits use that approach to get some chunk plays. And then, of course, it's been the legs, too, of Ramirez working out of the shotgun where he has been able to tuck it under and run with it, make some positive yards there as well. The Bears continue to rush just 4 at the line of scrimmage, everybody else in coverage. Ramirez with the long play count. He gives it up the middle to Williams. Actually, that might be Nareska. Looks like it is Nareska. Gain of about 5 on the play, maybe 6. And it'll set up a 3rd and 5.
And Nareska takes the ball down to the Bears' 48-yard line. A pick up of 5 on 2nd and 10. We'll make it 3rd down and 5.
Now the Bandits officially in Bears territory at the 48-yard line. They'll need to get to the 43 for a 1st down. 3rd and short. Wouldn't be surprised here to see Ramirez take this one himself on either a designed run up the middle, a quarterback draw, or maybe pop it out to the outside where he's also has had some success. Cheers coming up from the crowd. Let's go Bandits, as they have their faithful here today at the Bears home field.
3rd and 5.
Gorgeous night in Hillburn, New York. Bears feign the rush, they back off, and now the throw towards the middle of the field. But it was intended for Tyler. It was broken up there by Sapini. So 4th down and 5. Another big play here for the Bandits to try and continue this drive and get a fresh set of downs. Ramirez tried to put that in a pocket between 3 defenders, and Sapini, I believe, got his hand on it, broke that one up. But now it's 4th down and 5. So Bandits need this one here. And you wonder if the Bears will send numbers here at Ramirez. They put 4 on the line. And 6 across here, and now the Bears creep up to the line of scrimmage. Ramirez. He wants to throw. He does look, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Jacobs. It was a little bit in front of him. Turnover on downs for the Bandits. The Bears will take over just shy of the 50-yard line with a fresh set of downs and 37-point lead to play with. The Bears, the only EFA team that has played 3 weeks in a row to start the season. Of course, the neutral site / road game against Brooklyn on week 1, and they've been here the last 2 weeks. And as far as the Bears are concerned, they will be off next week, and then they play at the Gators in 2 weeks. Then they're off again, and then they are at the Demon Knights on September 10th. So 1 game over the next 3 weeks for the Bears. Feeling pretty good about themselves at 2-1. Have a feeling that game against the Gators in 2 weeks going to be one of the highlighted games of that week for sure. Flags are down. Actually, it looked like it might have been a timeout. Timeout called by the Bandits. As we believe we're about at the midway mark here of this 4th quarter. You're watching this game on Sunday evening via tape delay, as this game took place on Saturday night. Grateful to the EFA for providing coverage here and providing an outlet for us to broadcast. David Pizzuto alongside Andrew Rotundo, who is operating our engineering booth tonight, doing it solo. Great job, Andrew. Two-man crew here tonight, as we do not have the benefits of a camera operator tonight. We were abandoned at the last minute, but we made the best of it here, and we're so glad to have you with us.
And here we go, play set to resume after the timeout. First and 10.
So the Bears will have it first and 10 after the timeout, midway through the fourth quarter. Hector remains in at quarterback, as Rodriguez's day has been done. Oglesby as well as with him. Actually, it's Davis. Davis is going to bounce it off to the far side, and he gains Bandits territory and is close to the first down at about the 43-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. It is going to be a first down. So a new set of downs for the Bears here right in front of us at the 40-yard line, which is where we are set up.
And he does have enough for a Bears first down. Will be first and 10 Bears at the Bandit 42-yard line.
So the ball will be spotted officially at the Bandits 42. Bears once again, for the fourth time in this half, are inside Bandits territory. Actually, the third time. One of those times was the end of the third quarter that spilled into the fourth. Hector was looking, nobody there, and Hector's going to have to take it himself. A lot of white jerseys there to corral Hector out of bounds. Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication in the backfield. I think that was number 28, Aiden Alvarado, who went left when Hector went right to deliver that handoff. So that was broken up. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be second and 12.
Forward progress to the 44. So second and 12 now for the Bears at the Bandit 44-yard line.
Hector reports back into the backfield. It is indeed Alvarado who is the setback now in the backfield, right behind Hector. And again, a little bit of a miscommunication, bad snap. Hector now trying to get to the sideline, and he is going to be brought down, and a flag is down. Looks like there might have been a late hit or something that went on in the backfield. One of the Bears players lost their helmet back there. That was number 10, Felder, who had lost his helmet, and we'll see what the official call is here. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bears. Face mask, it looked like. And they're going to back this one up. 15 more yards. That was already a loss of about 4 or 5. And they'll back them up a little bit more.
And they're going to tack 15 yards onto that. It's going to push the ball all the way back to the Bears.
This ball is going to be spotted at the Bears 35. So it is going to be second and 33.
Going to make it second and 33.
Coming up here. One of those obscure down and distances that we've been handed over the last couple of weeks. We saw a 4th and 43 last weekend. This is second and 33. Bears need to get a chunk of this back. They want to set themselves up with a third and manageable. Hector looking around the sideline and having to backtrack and making the catch. And in for more. Getting to the goal line. Touchdown! Curtis Walker made the catch. He had a double back to it. 65 yards on second and 33. And the Bears have hit the 50-point mark. It's now 50-7. Perhaps not the best looking throw of the night from Hector, but what a job there by, I have him as Prulo on our roster. But you could see it come off the hand a little bit funny and then having to backtrack, making the catch. And then the moves, one at the 15, one at the 5 here. Touchdown for the Bears. And they will once again line up for 2 as they now lead this one 50-7. Now lining up in the backfield. It's going to be a extra point attempt, a 1-point extra point attempt. We do not have a number 41 on our roster, but the kick is good. So the 1-point conversion is successful, and it'll be 51-7 in favor of the Bears, who led 30-7 at the half. So they've outscored the Bandits here 21-0 in the second half, as you see the bright lights of Thomas T. St. Lawrence Sports Center here. We have to think closing this one out here, later stages of the game. And if there was any denying what the Bears could be this season after a 2-year break, well, they've put a punctuation mark here in these first 3 games. We mentioned that there's only 8 regular season games that these two teams play, and the midseason comes up in a hurry, and the Bears have already played 3 of their 8 games, and they have scored points in bunches. Their defense has looked really good. This is a team that has only allowed 3 touchdowns now in a little less than 3 games. 2 to the Pharaohs, and of course 1 right before halftime here to the Bandits. I think the Bears coaching staff will be very happy and encouraged by what they've seen here these first 3 weeks of the season. And of course, when they do resume play, they'll have the Gators to contend with in 2 weeks. Not sure if the Gators will still be undefeated at that time.
Bears set to kick it away.
And that is going to be bounce and fielded by Tyler at the 5, and he does gain the 20-yard line. Little past that to the 23. The Bandits will take over here, 1st and 10. And that could be it. 2-minute warning. That is the 2-minute warning here from the Joseph T. St. Lawrence field.
I believe that is the 4-minute warning. 4 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. This isn't college. 2.
So the Bandits will have the final 2 minutes of this game to try and piece something together, continue to work on developing their offense here. They'll have to get right back at it next week against Brooklyn. So any sort of positivity they would take with them into next week. At this point, the scoreboard may as well be off. And Bandits just looking for something to hang their hat on here before they exit this field. Start off the season 0-2. But with plenty of season still in front of them. And we've seen some really good signs from Patrick Ramirez at quarterback, who came into the game, taking the place of Randy Long early. See if that development can continue here. He is going to look down the field, gets out of trouble once, but he's going to be tackled after a gain of about 2 or 3. Maybe less than that. Clock is running, and Ramirez wants his offense to line up a little quicker. Ramirez gets them set. Once again, we'll work out of the shotgun. The Bears will continue to rush just 4. Now they look towards the sideline, and it's incomplete.
Intended for number 88. Incomplete to Christopher Needham.
Needham was the intended receiver. Nigel Swift was right there with him. Swift also playing wide receiver in this game as well. That was just two wideouts going up for that one, and Needham almost came down with it. Almost made a nice play catching up to that ball. And it will be a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 9 officially at the 26-yard line. Bandits with a couple of turnovers in this game after committing 7 turnovers last week. They've had 2 in this one. One of them was returned for a touchdown, a fumble recovery, 50 yards. That was in the first quarter. Ramirez goes back to pass again. Again, looking towards the sideline, and that one's intercepted. Intercepted by Swift, and he is going to be inside the 10 to the 5 and a touchdown. It will come back. It will come back as we had a illegal block in the back, it looked like. That will bring this one back. But in any event, Swift perfectly timed it. Might have missed it on camera a little bit. I apologize for that. But either way, Swift had himself the interception, the 3rd turnover. And that was the play before. Still a nice look there as Needham almost took that one. Well, we'll see where this eventually gets backed up to. The Bears can essentially just take a knee at this point.
Looks like they're going to spot the ball at the Bandit 32, and that's where the Bears will take over. 1st and 10 at the Bandit 32-yard line.
So the ball will be spotted at the 32. The Bears will take over there. They could essentially take a knee if they want to. We'll see if they want to. Up by 44 here. Just about in the books here from the Joseph T. St. Lawrence Sports Center. Once again, if we can't say it enough, want to thank the EFA for having us, and thank everybody for tuning in and watching this one and enjoying it with us. We've certainly enjoyed it, watching this Bears team develop and seeing our second offering here from the Bandits. Hector will work out of the shotgun. Oglesby is with him in the backfield. Doesn't look like they're taking a knee here on victory formation. Hector, in fact, is going to go back to pass. He's going to run it himself. He does have some daylight. He's looking towards the sideline and goes out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down. Clock will stop. 16-yard pickup.
15 on 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 Bears at the Bandits 17-yard line.
Officially a 15-yard gain as he got it to the 17-yard line. Clock will start on the snap here as Hector did go out of bounds on that last play. But Hector was fixing to throw. The pocket collapsed around him and he took off. I don't think that was a designed run.
Now the back for the Bears. To the right of Hector in the shotgun.
Hector is once again going to go back to pass. He's looking towards the corner of the end zone, and that one is broken up and very nearly picked off. Will stop the clock. Garcia was the intended receiver. The Bears, you could see, utilizing this time to continue to work and develop on their offensive play calls and getting in and out of the huddle quickly. Second down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Clock will start. Have about a minute left. At least that's what I see the referee motioning to the sidelines. Once again, they go towards the sideline, and that one was bobbled up. Broken up. Nice job by the secondary. That time, 2 Bandits in the neighborhood breaking up that play, but the Bears want that play to work. They've gone to that twice now. Unsuccessful both times, though it did work earlier for a touchdown on the 3-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Figure under a minute remaining here in this one. I saw the head umpire motioning number one to both coaches just a moment ago.
Hector in the shotgun.
Third down and 10.
To his right.
It is Hector working out of the shotgun. Alvarado, the fake handoff. Under pressure, Hector from behind, and he's going to get taken down for the sack at the 26-yard line. Would not be surprised if that's the final play of this game. And getting up very slowly is Hector. The clock is going to stop now. Official timeout on the field as Hector got up very gingerly. He's still favoring that left knee, is being told to take a knee. A little bit of sparring back and forth between these two teams, and now they'll break stuff up. A couple of players taking a knee as Hector is helped off the field, and players needing to be separated, having a few extra words of conversation. And both teams will try and spill apart here, as obviously when games get like this, 51-7, obviously feelings take exceptions, and looks like both teams are doing a good job though of peeling away from one another. Teammates helping teammates separate, and that's what you want to see in games like this. It's a rough sport, obviously, and both these teams battled hard despite the final score. Both these teams put a lot of effort into this game and left a lot on the field. Looks like the Bears here on 4th down and very long will try for a field goal, and we'll see what we have here. Snap is a line driver, and that is picked up by the Bears, who can run with this. Kowalski, there's a flag down, players down everywhere. Not sure if the first down was gained. I don't think it was. Either way, it's going to be holding against the Bears. And that's it. That's the final play of the game. So that will be it. The final score, 51-7, will be our final. The Bears, with emphasis, improved to 2-1 this season, and the Bandits will fall to 0-2. So once again, your final score, 51-7 in favor of the Bears. We want to thank everybody at the EFA for having us here at the Joseph T. St. Lawrence Community Health and Sports Center. Torn Valley was the site of our game today. Week 3 of the EFA is in the books. This was the only game on the schedule. Once again, the Bears take over second place with a 2-1 record, and the Bandits will have to regroup in time for next week. They fall to 0-2. For everybody here at the PDF Sports Network, for Andrew, our engineer, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a very good rest of the weekend and a good night. Once again, your final score, the Bears 51 and the Bandits 7. Thanks for watching EFA Football on the PDF Sports Network.